Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. And Pepper's back there. Hi, Pepper.
Hello.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. This is the wake up call. Good morning, everybody. Man, I got quite the group here today. Good morning, Jan, coming in from SpaceX in Boca Chica, Texas. It's launch day. How cool it is to be a part of history like that, Jan. To be able to watch spaceships go up into the atmosphere. How neat that is. Hope that you're having an amazing time, meeting really cool people, and ultimately having an awesome adventure of a life. Good morning, Tony, coming in from Florida. I hope the weather is beautiful down there. And Dan coming in from Lawrenceville. Like I said, Dan, wonderful to see you here yesterday. Wonderful to see you here today. Good morning. Let's see. Good morning, Pepper. Well, I already know you're here because you were the one who set up the wake up call and ultimately is managing my stream.
Hi, Tony.
Yeah, let's see here. Good morning, Lauren, coming in from Rainy Coming, and of course to Tony, wonderful, and thank you as always for sharing, Tony. Anyways, this is the wake up call with Maui Paul. We're here today to say some nice things about ourselves and to ultimately give ourselves all of the tools that we need in order to live an amazing life today. So we're going to do the thing that we do every morning, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. I'm going to pull a card off the top of the deck. Actually, Pepper has already selected this card. Then I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card, and we are going to respond out loud together. I am that affirmation. As we do this, we are giving ourselves the tools that we need to succeed in life, and ultimately to give ourselves what we need in order to, in order to just live in the most actualized way. So let's have some fun. Let's pull a card off the deck and say that today I am dependable. I am dependable. I consistently fulfill my obligations. So I am dependable. I consistently fulfill my obligations. Are you dependable? You are dependable. You consistently fulfill your obligations. I'm going to write that down in the comments, and I encourage you to do the same thing. When I write that I am dependable, I consistently fulfill my obligations. All right, I am dependable today. I consistently fulfill my obligations, and indeed you are as well. And I find that as I get, oh my gosh, I didn't put an N on there. I consistently fulfill my obligations. My obligations. They're like obligations, but they're different. But anyway, I am dependable today. You are dependable. My N key apparently isn't as dependable as I hoped it would be. But what can you do?
Well, at least you consistently fulfill your obligations.
I consistently fulfill my obligations. Yes, I do. And yeah, and it looks like Pepper is continuing along with a food theme. I know that we are getting close to the fall holidays, so it looks like she's got some mashed potatoes here. Um, those things too, Jan. Those things too. Yes, indeed. But anyway, yeah, it's I am dependable, and you are as well. And ultimately, when we are predictable about being able to do the things that we say that we do, it gives other people great faith in our ability to execute whatever it is that we say we're going to execute, and it allows us, it opens us up to greater opportunities for collaboration because we're predictable because we are a known quantity. When I was younger, I was not particularly dependable. I would say I would do something and then I wouldn't actually do it. Felt really good in the moment to say I was going to do something, and but then of course then I'd be faced with the reality of actually having to do that thing, and well, I'll be honest with you, half the time I just wouldn't do it, and of course then I got a reputation for not being particularly dependable, and I noticed that my the opportunities that I had for collaborating with others started to dry up. And of course, being a not particularly dependable person at the time, I just figured that that was because the people around me were all jerks. I didn't have the self-awareness to recognize that it was entirely me that was doing that to myself. that the reason that people weren't coming to me and asking me for stuff was because they had done it in the past and I hadn't actually delivered. That I had said that I would do it and then not actually done it. And so, because I wasn't fulfilling my obligations, then why on earth would anybody trust me with more obligations? I hadn't fulfilled the first ones. When I recognized this in myself, and let me tell you, it was quite the wake up call for me, no pun intended, but it was quite the wake up call for me to when I recognized this part of myself, and I was like, wait a minute. If other people did this to me, I wouldn't be very happy with them. If other people did this to me, I would have made my plans based on what I thought that they were going to do, and then it wouldn't, then my best laid plans would have been ruined because of somebody else. And when I recognized that I was doing that to other people, I made a commitment to myself and to the people around me that I was going to be more dependable, that I was going to only say, just let my yes be a yes and my no be a no, and leave it at that. And the the catalytic event, I guess, for this. So I was down in Costa Rica, and my truck was in the shop, and every single day I would go into the shop and I would ask the mechanic, "Hey, is my truck done yet?" Because he had told me it would take 2 days, and so I gave him 3 days, and then I went down to the shop. The 2 days passed, I didn't hear anything, so 3 days I went down to the shop. I figured, well, if he needs two, then get and I didn't hear back from him in 2 days, then maybe 3 days. And 3 days, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's not done yet. Come back tomorrow. It'll be done tomorrow." Okay, so I came back 4 days. He said, "Oh, it's not done yet. Come back tomorrow." 5 days later, "It's not done yet. Come back tomorrow." 6 days, 7 days, 8 days. About 14 or 15 days later, I'm getting really, really unhappy about this because, this was supposed to be a 2 day thing. And every single day he tells me to come back tomorrow. And I was talking with one of my friends who was a local down there, and she said, "Oh, she's like, he's not telling you to come back tomorrow. He's just telling you it's not done yet and to come back later." I said, "So why is he using the word tomorrow?" And I'm like, my Spanish ain't super great, but I do know what the word tomorrow means. And she said, "Oh, he just doesn't want to have conflict with you to tell you that he's probably not going to be done for 2 weeks to a month. So, he'll just tell you tomorrow and smile to your face, but he's not actually doing anything. Your truck hasn't moved, it won't move, and probably he's waiting on parts or something." And I remember that I was just absolutely livid about that because I just wanted to be told the truth. And that's when I realized that I wasn't doing that same thing, that I wasn't providing that same courtesy to others, that I wasn't dependable in my own life, and that this was just a reflection of my own behavior. And that's when I decided I was going to stop that. I decided that I was going to say what I meant and meant what I say. And you know what? Let me tell you, my life has gotten tremendously better for that. It's gotten tremendously better for learning how to be more dependable and for only obligating myself when I believed I can actually get something done, and then also consistently fulfilling those obligations. Under promising and over delivering, as opposed to over promising and under delivering, I've found is a much better way to do life. And so I am dependable. And when I am dependable, I find that I am surrounded by other people who are similarly dependable, who are also dependable, and who also fulfill their obligations to me. And because of that, because I'm surrounded by other folks who are really predictable in that way, it allows me to make better long range plans because I know that I can rely on the people that I trust to get things done. And so, in the end, my life got better when I recognized that, when I just got a little bit of self-awareness and recognized that there were ways in which I could improve and ways that I could be more consistent in my world. And and as I've been talking, I've been thinking about these potatoes. I've been thinking about why would Pepper choose potatoes for this? And potatoes are such a dependable staple food. If you don't have a lot of money, and let me tell you, in my life, there have been some times when I did not have a lot of money. Only have a couple dollars to your name, buy a box of mashed potatoes, or buy a bunch of potatoes, cook up some potatoes. Potatoes and butter makes a very filling dish for not a lot of money. It is something that it can be added to pretty much any kind of food in order to in order to just sort of add volume and body to any dish. It's something that can be, it's something that can be just added to lots of different dishes, lots of different cuisines in order to be a very dependable side dish. Potatoes are a very dependable side dish. It's just one of those starches that you'll find in lots of different places, in lots of different forms. And so I am dependable. And you are dependable as well. And we consistently fulfill our obligations. I have plenty of obligations that I need to be handling this week, and I intend to be consistently fulfilling them. I wouldn't have made the promises if I didn't believe that I could fulfill them. And that is a fundamental change in my life. That is something that I have not always embodied, and that I work on every day to make sure, because the temptation to people please, the temptation to just tell people that you can do anything, is very strong. We want to be pleasing to others. We want to be helpful. I know I like to be helpful. I believe that I believe that that I have lots of skills, and that I desire to really bring those skills to bear to help my friends live better lives. But that doesn't mean that I can do everything. And sometimes, I'm asked to do something that's outside of my wheelhouse, or I'm asked to do something that I really don't want to do. And when that happens, the challenge is to be congruent with myself. The challenge is to be dependable in my no as I am in my yes. Being dependable isn't about doing everything for everybody. Being dependable is about being predictable, and about consistently fulfilling our obligations, and recognizing that our obligations are something that we voluntarily choose. When I look at my life and I'm like, wait a minute, there's all kinds of stuff that seems like it's out of control. The root cause of that is always that I said yes to too many things. Is not because life itself is somehow against me. It is always because I have done it to myself. I have brought it upon myself by wanting to be pleasing to everybody all the time. And so it requires some discipline to be just as dependable in my no's as I am in my yeses. When somebody asks me to do something, even if I would really like to make that person happy, even if I know that I could do the thing well, to still nevertheless say, no, thank you. It's not, it just isn't something I have the bandwidth for right now. And in doing so, it allows me to consistently fulfill my obligations. I would rather have somebody tell me no, they can't, and then not do it, as opposed to say yes, they can, and then not do it. It helps me to make better long range plans for my life. And I'm sure that the people around me appreciate that as well. All right, guys. So I am dependable today. You are dependable as well. I am surrounded by other dependable folks. And I'm grateful that the people who are around me have their yes be a yes and their no be a no. Makes my life so much simpler. And I am working on doing that more and more and more in my own world. So one of the things that I like that helps me to be more dependable is the fact that I wake up every morning and I do the wake up call. This is a dependable broadcast. It just comes, I, barring internet issues that literally prevent it from happening. I'm here every morning at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, and on Saturday at 11. And that gives me a bit of structure in my life. That gives me a bit of ability to be dependable, and to really remind myself that I can and I will and I am. All right, my beautiful friends, I will talk to you tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll have another one of these to work through. I want to say thank you so much for being here on the Wake Up Call. I hope that everybody is having amazing adventures. If you are in rainy Georgia, stay dry out there. And I will talk to everybody tomorrow at 9 a.m. Until then, thank you so much for being here. So good morning again to Jan and to Tony, to Dan, and let's see here. I know some other folks. Well, I guess it's just the three of y'all who are saying hello today. Dan and Cody and Jan, and of course Pepper. Thank you guys.
Lauren.
Oh, where's Lauren? Oh yeah, hey Lauren. Sorry, I missed you there, and Lauren as well. Wonderful to see you all here today. Thank you for so much for being here. I appreciate you. I love you. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Until then, aloha from paradise.
Like, check. What the awesome Saturday service I'll show?
I'm trying to find. They're all named promos.
I've got that. Just let me take care of it.